On May 17, 2020, Elon Musk tweeted, "Take the red pill." Ivanka Trump quote tweeted it and said, "Taken." And Lilly Wachowski replied, "Fuck both of you." This is the Museum of Twitter, the show where we talk about the most important tweets in the history of Twitter.com. First off, I'm aware that this hat is a little too big, but when you see an inaugural season Tampa Bay Devil Rays hat available on eBay for less than $20, you make do with the bigger size. But more importantly, I'm doing this tweet this week for obvious reasons, because the thing that Twitter used to be really good at before Elon Musk bought it was telling bigots to go fuck themselves. And it also was really good for creative people to tell people who deliberately misinterpret their work to go fuck themselves. And in this case, we get both at the same time. But let me back it up for some context for people who don't know what this is all about. Lilly Wachowski is a writer and director who made a lot of movies with her sister Lana, including the Matrix trilogy. An important thing to note is that both Lilly and Lana are transgender, and they both came out after the Matrix movies were released. Famously, in the Matrix, there is the moment where Neo is offered the choice between the red pill and the blue pill by Morpheus. In the movie, the blue pill will make him forget that he ever thought there was anything weird about the world, and he'll go on his life as normal, and the red pill will help him leave the Matrix and realize that this all is a simulation, it's all run by machines. As I'm sure you know, if you've been on the internet for any length of time, that term, the red pill, has been co-opted by lots of bad actors. One of the ways it's been co-opted is by misogynists in the dating world, where they say they're taking the red pill when they realize that women are shallow and don't really care about men and a bunch of other awful things. It's also used in a political context, where people on the right wing say they're taking a red pill to see above all of the liberal lies and the lies of the world order as it currently is, and see that so much what we have in society is a facade and they should be in charge. As you can imagine, particularly because of Lilly's response to Elon and Ivanka Trump's tweets, this is not what they intended when they made the movie. While they say that they were unaware of it at the time, in hindsight, Lilly says that The Matrix was definitely a trans allegory. And some people have argued with that, saying like, oh no, it's just a post hoc justification, that she wants to make everything about being trans, but like, if you really think about it, it is a pretty straightforward trans allegory if you know it's made by a trans filmmaker. That's not to say it's the only thing it could be, but yeah, if I was someone who made a movie about thinking that the world was all wrong, that I didn't have the right perspective, and then I took a pill, and I found myself in another body where everything made more sense, and then later in life I transitioned, I'd be like, yeah, that all tracks. So understandably, the Wachowskis have a difficult relationship with the concept of the red pill. It's really been co-opted by other people, and specifically other people who have basically diametrically opposed political and social viewpoints to them. So you understand why Lilly is pissed here, especially because Elon Musk famously has a trans daughter that he considers dead because she's trans. And Ivanka Trump's dad is Donald Trump, who is awful for the trans community. So you completely understand her frustration and anger when they are quoting a concept that she invented. I mean, she didn't invent the idea of a red pill, but obviously they're referencing the Matrix, that she invented this concept, and they're saying, yeah, I'm taking the red pill because I believe in all these reactionary points of view, and that sucks for her, and she's just like, no, go fuck yourselves. And I think despite the fact that it's an extreme example and the first two people in the thread are awful people, I think it's a good example of a thing that Twitter was good at. Obviously there are things that are problematic about putting authors of major media works in contact with fans, but I do think it can be helpful when people really misinterpret something, where someone just be like, whoa, that's not what I meant, stop it. Like I said, this is an extreme example of it, but it is an example of it. And to be clear, Lilly Wachowski, when she was on Twitter, was not going into every person's mentions who mentioned the red pill and saying, that's not what I actually meant. It was just this one time. And I think it's a fair time to do it when we're talking about the richest man in the world and the daughter of the president. And I think for fans of The Matrix who did not misinterpret the whole red pill thing, this was a very cathartic moment. Because I think a lot of people, Lilly and Lana have talked about this, have gotten really powerful messages from the moment of the red pill and the blue pill and deciding to leave the Matrix. It's not always someone deciding to come out as trans, but I think there are a lot of positive things that metaphor can mean. And so I think to see Lilly's frustration aimed at people who are misinterpreting it felt good for the people who didn't misinterpret it. And while Lilly has deleted her whole Twitter account, so I can't get an actual screenshot of this, she did follow up her tweet with a donation link to a charity that helps trans youth. And what's that? A selfish reason I did this is because on the 22nd, I'm doing a charity live stream to raise money for the Trevor Project, another charity that helps LGBTQ youth. It's gonna be on twitch.tv/Jake_Christie, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern, going until 2 a.m. the next day. Doing a lot of fun giveaways, some fun donation incentives, and the donations are actually starting right now already. Donate to the Trevor Project and email the receipt to museumoftwitter@gmail.com, and you'll be entered in to win whatever raffle is currently going on. If you're watching this on Friday until midnight, if you enter in the raffle, you can win a signed copy of Bucky Isotope's Down with the Sickness tweet. I know it's silly, but I got him agreed to do it. Also, in the spirit of helping trans youth, before I did this episode, I had my weekly therapy session, and my therapist mentioned that maybe if I'm doing a thing about trans people, I shouldn't wear an NYU sweater because, of course, NYU Langone is in hot water because they canceled appointments for trans youth under the age of 19 to get treatment. But what I said was that I don't want this dumb hospital's decision to taint the experience I had. I went to NYU, I loved it there, and so I think that I also can use this as an opportunity to say, hey, if you have a problem with one of the biggest hospitals in New York no longer treating trans youth despite the fact that the executive order that they're following is almost certainly illegal, you might want to let them know. Now, I'm pretty sure I can't give away the email address or the phone number of the person you need to call on here, but let me just say, if you Google it, you can find it. Let them know that what they're doing is cowardly and awful, and that trans youth deserve respect and they deserve treatment. And for all the people being like, Jake, I can't believe you had to make this so political. One, it's a tweet about a trans person, about the trans experience, so that was baked in. And two, in this moment, what's going on is serious enough where, frankly, if I were to ignore this, I would feel like dog shit. Thousands of people tune into my silly little Twitter show every day, so the very least I could do is, if there's an issue where people are being harmed, I can draw attention to it and hopefully do some good. If that offends you, I apologize, but I'm not really interested in hearing from you. I'm not gonna go full Lilly Wachowski on you, because I'm not a confrontational person, but I am thinking it. Follow me for a new tweet every day, and you can become a subscriber at patreon.com/museum of Twitter, where you get the weekly Museum of Not Twitter, as well as the opportunity to vote on what I cover on Subscriber Sundays.